The Galactic Empire spanned countless star systems, its ships and soldiers a feared symbol of domination throughout the known universe. With a history rich in conquest, Empire officials rarely concerned themselves with lesser planets. Earth, an isolated speck on the fringes, had long been dismissed, a planet of primitive societies, backward in technology, and barely capable of space travel. For the Galactic Empire, humanity was little more than a curiosity. In the Empire's grand chambers, high-ranking officials gathered to review Earth's status as one of their scientists displayed a holographic projection of Earth's fleets. The ships appeared underwhelming by Imperial standards, blocky hulls, dated materials, and clearly lacking the sleek, hyper-advanced aesthetic of the Empire's own ships. The head official smirked, an expression of scorn creeping across his face as he addressed the others. This is the extent of human progress? What do they think they can accomplish with such primitive craft? Chuckles and scoffs rippled through the room. Earth's ships were seen as antiquated relics, hardly deserving of notice. Reports from lower-level Empire operatives, however, hinted at something strange, rumors of a project involving tachyon-based propulsion. It's nothing more than hearsay, an officer dismissed. Even if they're trying, they lack the expertise to harness tachyons. Only we, the Empire, could master such power. More laughter echoed, the officials utterly convinced that Earth was fumbling in the dark, their attempts at advanced technology a source of entertainment more than concern. In the lower ranks, whispers grew among the Empire's soldiers. Young recruits spoke in hushed voices about humanity's relentless pursuit of knowledge and technology. They spoke of Earth as if it were a mystery, an enigma that the Empire couldn't quite categorize. But these speculations were always brushed aside by superiors, squashed beneath a heavy blanket of arrogance that cast humans as nothing more than frail creatures from an irrelevant planet. Yet hidden within classified Empire reports was a startling detail. Earth scientists had been working on a prototype Tachyon Drive for years. The drive, if functional, would enable ships to move at unprecedented speeds, slipping through space in ways the Empire had not anticipated. The Empire's intelligence agents discounted it as fiction, a tall tale spun from Earth's desperation. But Earth scientists were neither desperate nor delusional. Humanity had faced endless obstacles, learning to innovate with limited resources, developing methods of engineering that bypassed traditional constraints. Earth's resourcefulness was unmatched, a quality that no Empire official could fully comprehend. Back on Earth, engineers and scientists worked tirelessly, fully aware that their efforts were both experimental and incredibly risky. They had neither the extensive research databases of the Empire nor the luxurious materials that intergalactic civilizations took for granted. What they had was sheer determination and an unshakable belief in their ability to transcend their own limitations. They underestimate us, a senior engineer murmured to his team, his voice steady, eyes gleaming with defiance. Let's show them what primitive ingenuity can accomplish. As days passed, the Empire's dismissive attitude only deepened. Humans are so amusing, another Empire official sneered. They believe they're capable of competing with us. But for those on Earth, it was never about competition. It was about survival. They knew they couldn't afford to be left defenseless against a galaxy teeming with civilizations that viewed them as inferior. Every wire soldered, every tachyon calculation revised, was a step toward not just survival but the assertion of their place in the cosmos. In the Empire's most secure chambers, the officials continued to laugh, oblivious to the quiet persistence unfolding on Earth. Humanity was biding its time, each scientist and engineer working in unison to unlock the mysteries of tachyon technology. The Empire's leaders sat smugly on their thrones, certain of their supremacy, blind to the very real, growing threat posed by the primitive world they so carelessly mocked. Their laughter echoed through their halls, blissfully unaware that, soon enough, it would be silenced. The Empire's fleet cruised toward Earth with the same air of indifference it reserved for insignificant missions. Commanded by General Varl, a seasoned veteran of the Empire's many wars, the fleet's mission was simple: intimidate Earth into submission. Earth was but a small, rebellious dot in the galaxy, not worthy of full military might. This wasn't a war, it was a formality. They expected Earth's leaders to panic, to surrender without question. As the fleet approached, General Varol delivered a message across Earth's airwaves, a classic Empire demand for fealty that conveyed one thing: resistance was pointless. Earth, however, did not respond with the expected desperation. Instead, without warning, a series of radar blips appeared on the Empire's systems. General Varol leaned forward, watching as an unexpected fleet emerged on the periphery. He frowned. Earth wasn't supposed to have a fleet capable of intercepting the Empire's ships. The vessels before him didn't match any known designs in the Empire's database. The structures were unfamiliar, their builds rugged yet streamlined, emanating a strange, pulsing energy signature the Empire's sensors struggled to interpret. As the general studied the readings, a thought crossed his mind: a human fleet with tachyon power. In a calculated silence, the human fleet remained in formation, waiting. The Empire's ships attempted to establish their usual formation, but the human ships moved first. They glided in unison, shifting as if they were a single entity. To Varol's shock, they accelerated in bursts that defied normal physics, appearing to teleport from one location to another with precision. Empire weapons couldn't track them, and their tactics became evident quickly: hit, vanish, reappear, strike again. It was surgical, coordinated. Each maneuver dismantled the Empire's preconceptions of humanity's limited technology. Frustration brewed on the Empire's command deck as Varol's officers scrambled to understand what they were seeing. "This is impossible," a lieutenant stammered, eyes wide on his monitor. "They shouldn't be able to move like that. Our sensors can't predict their next positions." Varol clenched his jaw. He had faced countless species, each falling in awe of the Empire's firepower, but he had never encountered a fleet that could slip in and out of combat zones with such ease. Earth's fleet remained relentless, each human ship executing complex maneuvers that required not just speed but an almost uncanny awareness of space. The Empire's ships fired at random, missing repeatedly as the human ships phased out just before impact. Varol knew that this wasn't the work of amateur engineers. Earth's tachyon propulsion technology was real and operating at a level even his engineers couldn't fully grasp. The tactical grid on Varol's monitor displayed the Empire's slow descent into disarray. It became a battlefield of shadows, with human ships flickering across the screen, almost ghostly in their movements. Empire commanders attempted to regroup, issuing commands for counterattacks, but each attempt was met with human ships appearing at new angles, striking vulnerable points with uncanny precision. Varol's confidence wavered as he watched his fleet struggle to defend itself against this seemingly endless barrage. Then came a message broadcasted from Earth. It was a single voice, calm and defiant, addressing the Empire's generals. "You've seen our technology," the voice declared. "Now you understand why Earth isn't as helpless as you believed." The voice held a weight of certainty that sent a chill through the Empire's ranks. In the silent halls of the command ship, every officer listened, and for the first time, they felt an unsettling shift in power. These weren't cries of resistance. They were statements of fact, quiet yet terrifying in their calmness. The general's hands tightened around his command console. He ordered an all-out assault, intending to overwhelm the humans through sheer force, to crush this insolence before it spread. Empire's ships unleashed waves of firepower, plasma beams and missiles tearing through space. Yet, the human fleet responded with a calm counter-precision that spoke volumes of their strategic mastery. No matter the Empire's efforts, Earth's ships continued to evade and counter, using their tachyon drives to shift unpredictably. Varol's frustration boiled into disbelief. This wasn't supposed to be a fight. Desperation crept into the general's voice as he issued command after command, only to watch his fleet crumble. The human ships, though smaller and fewer in number, moved with the power of a force that had been underestimated one time too many. Each strike left Empire's ships floundering, their formations broken. In a moment of rare vulnerability, Varol realized he wasn't watching a fluke or an aberration. This was Earth's true face. A civilization of ingenuity and audacity that the Empire had never prepared for. As his remaining ships scrambled to regain control, Varol ordered a retreat, something he never had to do in his entire career. The Empire's finest, defeated by a planet they had once mocked. He watched his monitors as Earth's ships ceased their pursuit, maintaining formation as they held their position in space. It was a warning as clear as any: Earth would not be so easily conquered. As the remnants of the Empire's initial fleet limped back to safer territory, Varl transmitted urgent orders, demanding reinforcements. Within hours, the Empire dispatched a new wave, doubling the fleet's size and sending top strategists to counter this unforeseen human resistance. They would show Earth that the Empire's strength was not something to be challenged, no matter how clever humanity's technology appeared. Yet beneath the bluster, Varl felt a creeping doubt. He could still hear the calm confidence in that human voice, a tone that haunted him, undermining his once unshakable confidence. When the new fleet arrived, they found Earth's ships waiting, fully prepared. The Empire's ships took up a broad formation, covering every possible angle, intending to close in and overwhelm the human fleet with coordinated precision. But the human ships didn't react with fear or retreat. Instead, they moved forward with a steady, unwavering approach, a calm advance that threw off even the most battle-hardened Empire commanders. Every Empire officer could feel the unsettling weight of silence from the human fleet. No hails, no warnings, just the steady hum of Tachyon engines that seemed to ripple through space itself. The Empire's strategists expected Earth's forces to engage in erratic, chaotic skirmishes. But the human ships executed each maneuver with startling efficiency, as if they'd already mapped out the Empire's response before it even began. Empire ships tried to close in, tightening their net, but Earth's fleet kept slipping out of reach, darting between attack vectors and flanking Empire squadrons with almost supernatural precision. The alien fleet struggled to make sense of it, and whispers spread among the lower ranks. This was no longer just a fight. It was a statement, a demonstration of humanity's resolve. Attempting to counter, the Empire's second-in-command devised a new strategy. He ordered ships to draw the humans into a narrow trap, forcing their escape into pre-calculated fire zones. But as the trap tightened, the human ships accelerated in unison, slipping through Tachyon space and emerging at impossible angles. One by one, Empire ships found themselves isolated, cut off from support. Human vessels appeared behind, beside, and beneath them, exploiting every weakness with ruthless precision. Each time an Empire ship tried to maneuver, a human vessel was already there, waiting, as if anticipating the Empire's every move. Frustration gave way to desperation. Empire officers began making frantic calls for tactical adjustments, their confidence eroding with each failed attack. They'd seen arrogant upstarts before, but the humans were different, disciplined, precise, and unrelenting. Word spread among the ranks that Earth's fleet moved as one mind, that their tactics didn't just counter Empire maneuvers but dismantled them with cold efficiency. It was as if the humans knew each Empire protocol, each strategic assumption, and had designed their entire response around exploiting these weaknesses. As the battle unfolded, the human fleet initiated an unexpected phase of psychological warfare. Cryptic messages began flashing on Empire monitors, statements like, "We are more than you know," and "You cannot predict us." The Empire's top strategists, who prided themselves on their unwavering superiority, felt a chill. These weren't the erratic taunts of a desperate enemy. They were calculated, calm, spoken with a confidence that undermined the Empire's sense of control. Officers found themselves hesitant, second-guessing each order as if fearing an invisible trap. Then came the turning point. A squadron of Empire ships managed to corner a lone human vessel, boxing it in with no escape route. The Empire officers celebrated, believing they'd finally outmaneuvered their opponent. But in that moment, the human ship didn't flee. Instead, it accelerated directly into the formation, its Tachyon Drive blazing at full power. The Empire's ships couldn't react fast enough as the lone human ship barreled forward, crashing into the command ship in a blinding flash of light. When the light faded, both the human and Empire ships were gone, vaporized in the impact. This single act of sacrifice reverberated through the Empire's ranks. They were used to enemies retreating, to those who feared them. But these humans fought with a fearlessness that bordered on recklessness. They were willing to risk everything, to sacrifice themselves for the smallest advantage. It wasn't just technology the Empire was up against. It was a level of resolve and unity that no Imperial training could match. The Empire's reinforcements, now scattered and disoriented, attempted to regroup. But the human fleet didn't let up. They pressed forward, capitalizing on every gap in formation, every delayed reaction. Empire's ships started to falter, their firepower dwindling as systems began to fail under the relentless assault. Empire officers, once proud and defiant, now found themselves retreating, struggling to avoid total annihilation. Varro watched, his face pale, as the human fleet picked apart his once mighty armada. This was no mere defeat, it was a dismantling, a revelation of the Empire's arrogance and ignorance. In the final moments of the encounter, the human fleet halted, holding position as the remaining Empire ships pulled back. No further shots were fired, no words exchanged. The humans simply watched, their silent presence an unspoken reminder of what had just transpired. Varro, shaken and humbled, realized the truth that every Empire officer now understood. They had underestimated not just a planet, but a people who could wield power and courage beyond anything the Empire had ever encountered. With the battered remains of the Empire's fleet retreating, the call for a final assault echoed through the Empire's command. This was now a battle for pride, a chance to redeem the honor of the galaxy's most powerful force. In a last, desperate move, the Empire mobilized every available ship, gathering a formidable armada to overwhelm humanity in one final strike. Every general and commander knew that they were not just fighting Earth, they were fighting to protect the Empire's reputation across the galaxy. When the fleet arrived, they found the human ships lined up in calm, unwavering formation, positioned with an eerie precision that unsettled even the Empire's bravest commanders. Earth's fleet awaited them, as if daring the Empire to approach. The Empire's fleet advanced, filling the void of space with gleaming rows of warships, their engines humming with lethal power. No sooner had they moved into attack range than the humans sprang into action, the Tachyon Drives once more igniting with a blinding brilliance. In the Empire's control rooms, commanders issued orders to fire in unison, bombarding the human fleet with everything they had. Plasma beams streaked across the darkness, missiles detonated in cascades of light, and the thunderous pulse of energy weaponry filled the void. But yet again, Earth's ships defied expectations, moving faster than their sensors could track, shifting into patterns that not even the most advanced algorithms could predict. Where Empire's ships relied on raw firepower, the human fleet leaned into tactics and precision, sidestepping attacks, countering with strikes that cut through the Empire's formation like a scalpel. The Empire's once mighty formation began to unravel, its ships stumbling over one another as human vessels exploited every gap, every break in rhythm. Desperation grew on the Empire's bridge decks as ship after ship was either destroyed or forced to retreat. Messages of distress filled the Empire's communication channels, the calls from commanders faltering under the relentless assault. There was no longer any semblance of control, only a struggle to survive the onslaught. Then, the humans made their final move. At the heart of Earth's fleet, a ship broke formation, charging forward with a pulsing tachyon field surrounding it, a sphere of energy the Empire's scientists had deemed impossible to sustain. Empire analysts watched in disbelief as the human ship accelerated, bypassing their sensors completely, heading straight for the Empire's flagship. It closed the distance in seconds, and then, in a flash of light, the tachyon field erupted, scattering waves of energy that disabled every Empire vessel within range. Empire screens went dark, their communication lines severed, systems fried from the tachyon overload. As the dust settled, the Empire fleet was left adrift, crippled and unable to regroup. Human ships hovered around them, silent yet unmistakably victorious. Empire commanders struggled to comprehend how this had happened, how their mighty armada had been brought to its knees by a force they had once mocked. Defeat was bitter, but the truth that stung even more was the realization that they had underestimated humanity, not only their technology but their resilience, their cunning, their ability to take on and defeat the galaxy's most formidable empire. Back on Earth, a message was broadcast to every corner of the galaxy. A calm voice, the same one that had addressed the Empire's initial fleet, spoke once more. Earth is not to be threatened, it declared. We seek peace, but we are prepared to defend ourselves with whatever means necessary. The message sent ripples through the galaxy, reaching worlds that had either feared or ignored the Empire's reign. In those few words, humanity made a statement that no one could ignore. Earth was not a planet to be taken lightly, and humanity was no longer a species to be underestimated. For the first time, the Empire faced the repercussions of its arrogance. Rumors spread rapidly, tales of Earth's resilience, of its technology, of its fearless defense against impossible odds. Even the Empire's own people began to question the strength of their leaders, whispering of a world that had stood firm against their might. Alien leaders, once allied with the Empire, began to reconsider their loyalty, wondering if they should view Earth as an ally rather than a threat. In the silence of his command ship, Varl stared into the void, the weight of failure settling upon him. He had underestimated these humans, had dismissed their ingenuity as mere desperation, and now he bore the consequences. In his heart, he knew the Empire would never forget this moment. The galaxy had changed, and Earth had claimed a place of its own, its power undeniable, its spirit unbreakable. Varl's defeat was more than just a loss on the battlefield. It was the beginning of a shift that would echo across star systems for generations. As the Empire's crippled fleet limped away from Earth's orbit, the rest of the galaxy watched, their perceptions of humanity forever altered. And in the deep, uncharted regions of space, the stories of Earth's Tachyon-powered fleet, their daring maneuvers, and their fierce will to survive would spread, sparking new legends. Humanity had not only defended itself but had shattered the assumptions of an entire galactic order. Now, the Empire would never again look at Earth without a lingering shadow of respect, and a touch of fear.